Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the live stream. Let's see who is in the room. Okay. Okay. All right, folks, give me a second to get myself set up here. Kind of set up, but not. I'm kind of set up, but not really. Need to get my backup computer set up without disturbing. All right, folks, give me a second to get myself set up here. Kind of set up, but not. I'm kind of set up, but not really. Need to get my backup computer set up without disturbing. Okay. Okay. Okay, we have Kari in the room. Jordan's in the room. Oh, Jordan, you're in Virginia Beach as well. I love the fishing down there, the fishing and crabbing down there. Okay, I want to get my backup computer up and running. Okay, we have Kari in the room. And then you guys can feel free to ask questions. So, we're May 17th, 2017. And as you can see on the board, I am answering questions for the ASTB, which is the Aviation Selection Test Battery, the AFOQT, which is the Armed Forces Officers Qualification Test, the SAT, the ASVAB, which is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Test Battery, GRE Math, SIFT, OAR for the Navy, and FAA, Federal Aviation Administration, Computer Test Questions. Okay, so this is a forum that you can come to, and let's see, Jordan Beach. Okay, Lynn Haven. Okay. All right, Stephanie Harris. All right. Shout out to the recruiters out there, keeping our armed forces freshly filled. And moment here. Okay. All right. So, all right, I have my backup computer up, and all right, let's see what we got going on here. All right, I am going to check my email to see if any questions were sent in first off, and then after that, I am going to go to my link, copy. Okay, looks like there's 5 in the room now. Jordan O'Hara um, is in the room. Now, like what I always say, this is an old phone. It doesn't even work anymore. I always liked this little phone because it fit my flight pocket really, really nice. And, you know, I never had to worry about dropping it. So that's what I always thought was cool about this phone. But you can take a picture with your smartphone of the test question of whatever test prep book you're using, and then you can send it to my email. And I'm going to type my email address in. Steven, good to see you, buddy. I see you, Steven. Okay, now one thing that I am going to do is I am going to place an emphasis on this live stream and the live stream and the Google Hangout later on, if you guys want to be a part of the Google um, chat. Yeah, the Google chat. I will. You guys can just send me an email saying that you want to be a part of the Google chat, and I will remind you of that in about 45 minutes or so. If you're in the room, if you're new to the room, just simply type the test you're preparing for, and the and your location, where you're from, and you know, just type that in on the message board, and we'll get started here. Um, okay, let's see. Let's see. I have a bunch of wow. Okay. Thanks, Jordan. You're already here. And I am just sending some links out to people that want to come to the live stream. And, okay. So yeah, as I send these links out to people that want to be almost done, guys. And Kari, I see your question. Okay, so all the requests are sent out, and let's see here. Okay, just sending a quick text out. And let's see here. Okay, struggling with fractions. Okay. Okay, you're taking the ASVAB. Where are you located, Justine? And just to get into fractions, fractions are pretty easy once you know how to work them. Anybody that tutored with me, I do a lot of what I call rapid math. In rapid math, I try to help you arrive at the answer as quickly as possible. Okay, Justine, Atlanta, ATO, love Atlanta. Okay. Um, for instance, let's say I have 1/2 plus 3/4. All right. So the way I do this, the old way would be to sit there, find the lowest common denominator and all that, and go through all that. So we would have to change 1/2 into 2/4, and then we would come up with 5/4. And that's relatively easy, but a surefire way that works with every fraction is I do this. I put the plus sign up here. I multiply 4 times 1, put a 4 up there, a 2 times 3, put a 6 up there, and then I multiply 2 times 8 across. So I will have 4 plus 6 is 10, and 2 times 4 is 8. Now it's not reduced. We have to reduce it. These are both even numbers, so they're both going to be divisible by 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So it's 5/4 or 1 and 1/4 as a mixed number, because this is an improper fraction, because the numerator is bigger than the denominator. All right. Let's take that same scenario, and this is DVRable, so it's recorded. You can always go back and you can look at it again. But now, let's take the 1/2, and then we're going to subtract 1/8. Okay, the operation is basically the same way. 1/2 minus 1/8. So basically, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the minus side up top now, and it's going to be 8 times 1 is 8, and 2 times 1 is 2, and we're still going to multiply the denominators directly across. 8 minus 2 is 6, and 2 times 8 is 16. Again, we have two even numbers, so this is not reduced to its lowest terms. Even number divided by 2, divided by 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. 16 divided by 2 is 8. So our final answer is 3/8. Okay. Multiplication and division are like basically the same thing. Once you set them up. If it's multiplication, 1/2 times 1/4, we just multiply directly across. If it's division, 1/2 divided by 1/4, then basically the second fraction is going to be flipped, and we multiply by the reciprocal. So the division always turns into a multiplication problem. And 4 times 1 is 4, 2 times 1 is 2, and this will be equal to 2. All right. So, Justine, I hope that helped. And just type clear if everybody got that. Just type in clear, and we'll move along. Do you have word problems? Word problems pertaining to what? 10 in the room. And please like the video. If you take time just to like the video, I'm doing this free. I'm not charging anybody. Um, and so if you could just get those likes up. We have 10 in the room, and just be nice if you guys hit the like button below. And please subscribe as well, because I always have new information pertaining to all the tests. And this thing is DVRable. After our first hour is up, you will have the opportunity. You can speak to me directly in a Google chat, and so we all, just get in, talk together, and stuff. People that have taken the test can share their experiences, maybe some pitfalls that they've seen on the test and everything. So that's what this forum is for. It's to share information and to help prepare you for, you're taking the AFOQT, the ASVAB, the SIFT for the Army guys, the ASTBE, the OAR, or Federal Aviation Administration tests. I'm a licensed airline transport pilot with an instructor rating, multi-engine instructor rating. So, I've been around airplanes for over 20 years. Yeah, I'm telling on my age. But this is a place where you can come and you can get the information that you need. So, okay, do you have any word problems? I have lots of word problems, Justine. It's just like, what type of word problems do you struggle with? That is the question. Sound like Shakespeare. That is the question. To be or not to be? I don't know if that was Shakespeare. That is the question. Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. 9 likes. I like that. Thank you guys for the likes. All right. So, this is the place where you can ask questions. Ask questions. Take photos. Send them to my email. Let's see what we got here. Hold on 1 second, guys. All right. Okay. Coming on back. This is my 3rd time taking the ASVAB, and I have to pass it. Struggling with the mechanics part. Emmanuel, welcome to the room. And all the new people in the room, please type in the tests you're preparing for, and oh man, that's a good one. And struggle with the math part. Okay, mechanics. Okay, Emmanuel, you're gonna have to be either present a question or take a picture with your smartphone and send it to my email. And what type? And Justine, you're in the right place. I'm here every Friday, 9 to 11, via this live stream, and then after that, a Google chat. So we can definitely get you squared away. Okay. I took the OAR once, score 37. Yeah, you need to get a minimum of 50 on that OAR just to have your packet look good. All right, because that's what the recruiters want. Okay. One thing I wanted to do is, all right, give me 1 second, guys. So I got text messages coming in. and I will get to that mixture problem, Nadine. So stand by 1 second. Okay. Okay. So post questions like Nadine just did. Or you can take a photo of the actual question in your book and send it to my email. In the meantime, in between time, we are going to do this mixture problem. Okay, so here we go. And please, all newcomers, type in the test you're taking and the location you're from. Just the state. I don't necessarily need to know the city. I mean, the city would be nice, but if you don't want to, that's fine. But at least the test you're preparing for in the state. So now Nadine's question. How much pure acid must be added to 12 ounces of 40% solution in order to produce a 60% solution? This question is very easy once you know how to set it up. So what I like to do is I like to think of this as containers. All right. So we have two types of containers that are going to be mixed, and then we're going to have a final container. All right. So what we do is we put in an amount, AMT, that's abbreviated, and then we're going to put in a percentage, but the percentage will be, we will transform it to a decimal form. All right. So we're going to have amount, decimal form, amount, decimal form, amount, decimal form. All right. So now, what is the question asking us? How much pure acid must be added? Okay, so we're going to have an unknown amount, which we will label X, and 100% in decimal form is 1 or 1.0. All right. 12 ounces of a 40% solution, so 12 OZ for ounces, and it's at 40%, so 0.4 or 0.40. Okay. Now, what is the goal? The goal is to obtain a 60% solution. So at the end of the day, we want 0.6 for a 60% solution. So these are all percentages, but they're in decimal form. Okay, and then at the end of the day, however many ounces we add of the 100% solution is going to be yielded there at the end of the day. So what we're going to do is we're going to stay in line with our model here. So I want you to think of these as multiplication. All right, so we're going to have, let's go bottom of the top, 0.4 times 12 ounces plus 1.0 times X is going to be equal to 0.60. And then what I like to do is I make a little arrow here to remind myself. So we start here at the 0.60, and then that is going to be multiplied times the sum of 12 plus X. Because we want a 60% solution, and then here's the amounts that are going to be added to obtain that. So X is the unknown number of ounces that we're going to add. So what we do from this point is we multiply 12 times 0.4, and you do this by hand because you can't use a calculator on any of the tests. So 4 times 2 is 8. 4, we went one decimal place in, so this will be 4.8 plus 1x, so it would be 4.8 plus 1x is equal to, and 0.6 is going to be distributed into the sum in the parentheses. So then we get 0.6 times x, and that will be 72, or 0.72 plus 0.6x. All right, so the bigger x is on this side, and I like to keep the x positive because we are solving for positive, not a negative x. So since this is the bigger one, and you could say, okay, well, 0.6x is going to be subtracted from both sides. I don't look at it like that. I say that the 0.6 jumps the equal sign and changes its sign. So uh, 1 minus 0.6 is going to be 0.4. The 4.8 is going to jump the equal sign. All right. And let me just make sure I did my math right here with this 12, because sometimes I need to watch myself. 0.6, 12, 7.2. That's actually 7.2. So you have to be very meticulous. It just looked weird to me, and that's what made me kind of jump back. 7.2. So when the 4.8 goes across, it becomes negative 4.8. We'll subtract that from 7.2, and we will get 2, 12, 4. All right. 4 or 0.4x equals 2.4. Since we've gone in 1 decimal point on each side, we can just forget about that and just look at it as like 4 divided by 24, and our answer is 6 ounces. So 6 ounces of 100% solution must be added to this, and 12 plus 6, we're going to wind up with 18 ounces of solution. That is not the answer. The answer is how many ounces of 100% solution is going to be added, but I like to finish the whole problem. So we have 18 ounces. All right. Where did I get the point? Oh, okay. Would it be 6 ounces? Yes. Justine, 0.6 is 60. Is 60%. Okay, so 60 ounces. Where do we get the 0.4 from? We got the 0.4 because we have 1 and we have 0.6x. And when 0.6x jumped the equal sign, it became negative 0.6x. And 1 minus 0.6 is equal to 0.4x. And we carried it on down here. We did the math with 4.8 jumping the equal sign and becoming negative. And we wound up with 2.4. And when we did the division, both of these numbers are 1 decimal place in. So we could just imagine, we could just pretend that it doesn't even exist, since we've gone in 1 decimal point here and 1 decimal point here, and x is equal to 6 ounces. And if everybody understands that, please type in clear. Yeah, it's 6. That's what the answer sheet says. Clear. That's what the answer sheet says. But do you understand? Do you see how I arrived at it? That is the question. I mean, we could say, oh, the answer sheet says that, but, and that's fine. But understanding, that's the point where we want you to get to. Okay, I'm checking emails. Right. And Eric, um, sorry, I'm slow on that 1 ounce. You're not slow. pure acid would equal, okay, good catch on that, Jordan. All right, and I go with 100%. Yeah, I get it now for future reference. Do I automatically assume 100%, or, well, this is what happens when you when you go from percent to decimal. All right, and I'll do this really quick. When you go from percent to decimal, and taking any of these tests, you should be very effective at. You should always be able to go from fraction to a percentage and to a decimal form. All right. So it's just like saying, okay, well, we have 1/2. All right. Everybody knows 1/2 is 50%. But how do we arrive at 50%? How do we get that number? So every fraction is a division problem. This is actually 1 divided by 2. Now 2 cannot go into 1, so 2 goes into 1 0 times. We place a decimal and a 0. All right. Now 0 times, 1 comes down, the 0 drops down. How many times does 2 go into 10? Since the decimal's here, it floats up into the answer, and we have 0.5. Now that is the decimal form. All right. And in decimal form, this, or in percentage form, this is 50%. It's half of 1. 0.5 is half of 1. So 1 being 100%, 0.5, which is half of 1, 2.5s make a 1. So 0.5 is 50%. All right. Do another one, 3/4. This is actually 4, or 3 divided by 4. 4 cannot go into 3 any amount of times, but it can go into 30. How many times? 7 times. We place the decimal here because this is in the question. It floats up. 4 goes into 30 7 times, so we get 28. 30 minus, that's a 2. We have to add a 0 and drop a 0. 20. 4 goes into 25 times. So the decimal form of 3/4 is 0.75, and 0.75 is in between 50% and 100%, and this is 75%. All right, so this is something you're going to have to be effective. You should be very effective at mathematically, and it's not that hard. I think a lot of people have not done long division in a long time, so you want to brush up on that. All right, you want to brush up on your long division, because if you're not good at long division, you're going to have trouble with these. Okay. All right. Maybe Eric, questions? Questions. 20 minutes to the Google chat. Kari, where you at? Okay. All right. I typed that already. Disregard that. Okay. I just want to make sure you're in the room. Okay. Eric, you got a percentage question. All right. No, I saw you the first time a couple lines ago, Kari. I know me. I'd be asking a bunch of questions. Hey, a tutor is online on YouTube. All you need to do, and I'm here every Friday, so I'll remind you guys, every Friday I'm here 9 to 11. Okay? Doesn't cost you a thing. Get your test prep books. Sit down with them. Bring pencil, scratch paper, and stuff. Go through your your test prep book, be it SIFT, ASTB, OAR, ASVAB, AFOQT, or Federal Aviation Administration tests. What are the chances upon these all? It's possible, and we can cover that. Actually, I don't know if you're available tomorrow at 9, Stephen, but let me know. You can hit me up on Skype. And any of you guys that are interested in one-on-one tutoring, and you have Skype, that is my Skype name for contact requests. Okay, $300 in savings account to pay a simple interest rate of 3% per year. Okay. So, that's not a really good, super good investment. It's kind of like a bank account. I think most savings accounts give you 3%, which is not a lot. So we have $300 in savings. All right. And it pays a simple interest rate of 3% per year. So I can find out what 1% is just by moving the decimal point a couple times. All right. If I want to know what, all right, 3%. If I want to know what 10% of 300 is, I just move the decimal point over one time, 30. If I want to know what 1% of 300 is, then I would move it over another decimal point, and 3 is 1% of this said $300. So if I'm going to get 3% interest, I'm going to get $9 per year off of that with 3% interest. 5 years, 9, 45. $345. If she keeps it for 5 years, 300. Actually, no. Let me back up. Okay. So this is how it will work. Year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5. Okay. So simple interest, and a lot of times I'll look at a question and be like, no, that's not it. Okay. So after the first year, 309, and then the second year is going to be this, and then we're going to pile on 1.03%. So year 1, we're going to have 309. Then the second year, we're going to have 3% interest. And watch how I do this. This is just multiply it. This is all this is multiplication. 309 with 3% interest, which means we're going to multiply by 1 to get our original number, and then the 3% interest, because remember, this is 3% or 0.03. All right, so it'd either be $3 or 0.03 for 3% of 30. So what happens is, I'm assuming it's just going to compound. So this times this will give you this number, and then you keep multiplying the new number by 1.03 times 1.03 times 1.03, and whatever you add, whatever you get to at the end, 3.09 and 103, or 309 and 1.03, 27, 2, 9, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 309, 7, 2, 18. All right, 2 decimal places. So the second year, you're going to be at $318.27. You multiply again. You come up with a new number. You multiply that new number. Come up with year 4. You multiply that and come up with year 5. And at the end, that should do it. Simple. Is it simple interest? Okay, interest rate times time, 5 years. Okay, yeah, but that's a rough way of doing it. He's acting up, so I'll watch this in the morning. Okay, Kari, thanks for coming out. Tell Miguel to chill. Alright. And we're at 9, Kari. She gets that. I'll text it to you if she didn't get it. Alright. Now, okay. I'm just doing a little bit of research, guys. Let's see. Okay, we have some more. We got that one. Okay, the nth term in a sequence. All right. A lot of people have problems with this, and it's really broken down. Okay, so there are 2 types of sequences. There is a arithmetic sequence, and there's a geometric sequence, like geometry. Arithmetic, geometry. That's kind of like how it's. So there's an arithmetic sequence, and then there's a geometric sequence. The arithmetic sequence goes like this. We would say 1, and then 3, and then 5, and then 7, and then 9. All right. So what will be the next term? Type it in. What will be the next one? People in the room, just type what you think the next one would be. 11. Steven says 11. Jordan says 11. Anybody else? One more guy, one more person. Okay, Nadine says 11. Okay, Nick says 11. Okay, it would be 11. Now, what we have to understand, there's something going on here called a common ratio. And don't let that scare you. All this is, the common ratio is 2 because each time to get to our next number, we've just added by 2. This is the arithmetic sequence. All right, this is the arithmetic sequence, and that's all. It's pretty simple. So it would be easy to find the nth term, which would be what's the 10th term, or the 6th term, or the 4th term. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this case, in this arithmetic sequence, they would ask you, what is the 6th term in this arithmetic sequence? It's arithmetic because we just add. It's simple. In a geometric sequence, there's multiplication going on. That's the only difference between the arithmetic and the geometric sequence. So multiplication, that's all. So now let's look at a geometric sequence. The geometric sequence, there you go. In the geometric sequence, all right, that was in the, okay. Now, Iliu, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, because what they're saying is find the nth term in the sequence. Well, you have to define the nth term. But the terms that we have are -1, 2, 9, and 20, and then there's a question mark. So typically in testing, when we're testing, what the question is going to ask is, all right, what is the 6th term in the sequence? So we got to look at how do we get from -1. First, we have to identify whether it's arithmetic or geometric. All right, so 2, -1, to get to 2, we have to use a +3 and -1 would be 2. But then how do we get to 2 to 9, which would be 4.5. If we were multiplying, 2 times 4.5 would equal 9. This is a weird one. What did you get? Then that's when we just guessed right. Yeah, you got it right, Stephen. All right. But with this question, typically the testing will keep them either arithmetic or geometric. All right. And this is not geometric at all, because I can't see. That's a weird one. It's just a weird one. I've never seen. Okay. Nick says +7, then 11, then 15. All right, 3. But then 3, 7, 11, 15. That's neither. I've been prepping guys for this test for years, for all the military aptitude tests for like about 10 years. Never seen or heard them come back and say they've seen a question like that. Typically what it's going to be is an arithmetic or geometric sequence. All right. So here's how you would see it, because there's a certain formula that I always teach for the geometric sequence. And it is a to the nth term equals a times common ratio raised to n to the 1 power. Okay, this is very, very important. It's not too hard to remember when you're working with sequences. But if we're looking for a certain term, then a times r raised to n, the nth term minus 1. Now, what the heck does that mean? What that means, in a geometric sequence, I'll give you a simple one. 2, 8. 32. $128. So the common ratio is 4. That's what the common ratio is. So what we're doing is we're multiplying by 4 in each one of these cases. So I want to find the 6th term, not the 5th, because we could just get the 5th by multiplying by 4 again. So this is the first term. Our first term in this case is 2. And the common ratio, R, is 4. Raised to the nth term, we're looking for the 6th term. So 6 minus 1. 6 minus 1 is 5. All right. So 4 times 4 times 4 times 4 times 4. And then we multiply by 2, because with order operations, we have to take care of the exponent first. So 4 times 4, 16 times another 4, 64 times another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then times another 4 is 2, 8, 1024. Well, no, actually, we got to double that. So 2048, because we raised this to the 5th power, but then we had to multiply by 2. Final answer. All right. All right. All right. Now, again, this is DV Arable, and we got 7 in the room now. Now, if you guys, and the Google chat is free, there's no charge for the Google chat. If you want to come to the Google chat, that is the email where you send a request. All right. And the Google chat is a little bit different because I can screen share good stuff. I could never solve these. Okay, well, just come stop by every Friday night, 9 to 11. I'm here every Friday. All right. And hit the like button if you haven't hit the like button at all. There is my email. If you want to come to the Google chat, our equations. Depends on which exam you're taking, but I could talk to you about that in the Google chat if you're interested in coming to it. So it's going to take me 5 or 10 minutes to set up the Google chat, about 5 or 10 minutes, and I will send the link to the Google chat directly to your email. So it's 10 o'clock, and this is the time from 10 to 11 we go to the Google chat. So if you want to go to the Google chat, the email is provided in the message board. I thank you guys for coming out and watching. And again, we're here every Friday night, 9 to 11. The best, most effective way to utilize this is to get your book. Take pictures. All right, get your book, take pictures, and snap photos, send them to my email. And this way, and don't send them before 9 o'clock. Send them after 9 o'clock, so it's time, so I'm getting them in the right time. And, look, go through your test prep booklets. If you don't understand something, put a check mark by it and put live stream next to it and bring it. Okay. And again, I thank you guys for watching. I'm going into the live stream right now. I'll have it up in 5 to 10 minutes. And see you next Friday. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.